Welcome back to Mitsubishi. My name is Nathan and today we're doing a walk around video on this 2019 MY20 Eclipse Cross Black Edition. And I gotta tell you, in this black color looks absolutely stunning and quite a striking look as well. Now what we'll do is run through some of the features on the outside of the car. We'll touch on the condition a little bit. However, this car is pretty much a brand new car, so we don't need to run into it too much, as well as some of the features that does come in the Black Edition model. Now starting off on that front end, got the dynamic shield look with that chrome finish on the outside. The rest of the grille is blacked out due to it being a black edition, and as you can see, it's quite a sleek, sleeper-like design. So looks very aggressive, very tough, but also quite clean and neat in the way that it has been put together. Mitsubishi badging in the very middle there, and you've also got a split grille to allow for that airflow through to that front mount intercooler for that 1.5 litre turbo motor. Now the headlights itself are a very nice sharp design. Again, it does integrate and blend in quite neatly with the whole front grille itself. The headlamps do come fitted with a projector globe just on the inside there, which is going to give you a very nice clear-cut line of sight. Your indicator lamp is fitted at the bottom here, and you've also got daytime running lights through the bottom of that headlamp, which again look quite nice and sleek and classy, but it is also a safety feature for the other drivers on the road, just to provide that extra visibility of your car. Fog lamps are fitted at the bottom here, which are going to give you very good clarity, clear driving visibility on those cloudy, foggy mornings. Now as we come across the side of the car, pay attention to the paintwork, because in this black color it is absolutely stunning and very striking, again as I mentioned numerous times. Coming over to that first alloy, you've got a very nice multi-spoke design. It is again finished off in that beautiful piano black gloss finish. Rim itself is in exceptional condition, as it is, as I said, pretty much a brand new car. Got no marks whatsoever. It has been preserved and protected and color matched quite nicely to the paintwork of the car itself. And you've got brand new tires on pretty much all four tires at the time of this video. Panning across the side, you can see all those nice accents and curves and design cutouts in the actual model of the Eclipse Cross. It is quite a unique look in the design of the car itself, but all those angles are there for a reason. It is to provide that aerodynamic design for the car and also improve the economy. Even to the way these side mirrors are designed, it is all designed to provide economy for the car. Indicator lamp is fitted into the side mirror there. That does clear up this quarter panel for you, but also elevate the lamp for the other drivers, especially when they're next to you and you don't really get to see when they're indicating. The side mirrors and door handles are color matched to the car, which again make it look very sleek and neat in its design. Now, being a keyless entry car, there is a little button on the door handle which you can open and lock and unlock the car. The side mirrors do fold in when you do actually lock the door. However, you can also unlock it with this. Now the key does come with a little key in there in case you do need to open it if your battery does die. However, you can just use this system here. Opening it up, taking a look inside, do get that beautiful cloth design seats with that a nice striking diamond-like pattern that does go through the whole seats, front, back and rear as well. Now the seat bolsters in this car are quite nice and firm, and they do hug you quite comfortably. It's not too tight or too loose where you're going to be rolling around the seat. So again, it is a very nice design. You've got airbags fitted onto the side here in this model. Now the carpet lining is very clean, no marks whatsoever or damage or stains. As I mentioned, it is pretty much a brand new car, and the door card itself is actually quite a nice design as well to look at. It's not just a plain black, but you've got cloth, leather, piano black and a chrome finish with that carbon fiber plate there as well. So lots of different materials used on the design. The door itself goes all the way to the bottom of the car. Now that is designed to keep the inside of you clean, so when you are climbing in and out, you're not going to be picking up dirt and mud, especially on those rainy days. Closing this up, now the car, if you can see, the rear window is a little bit darker than the front. Now that is just to provide a bit of privacy to the car. It is privacy glass, but it doesn't actually provide as much UV protection or heat reduction as tint would. So please take advantage of the tint options, which we can tie in neatly with what we call our glass coat. Now the glass coat is a paint protection that will go on this car, and in the black finish you do want to make sure you take advantage of that, because you do want to protect and preserve this paintwork and keep it looking the way it is pretty much for the ownership of your car. I mean, wouldn't that be pretty good if in 10 years time you can look at the car and it's going to look exactly the same. Now opening up the rear seats, taking a look in the back, as I mentioned before, that same pattern does continue through the rear seats. Now the rear seats are fully adjustable, so you can actually lean it back if you needed to, as well as move the seat forward depending on how much space you need in the front or the back of the car or the boot. So you can adjust it fully as well. Now closing this up, second wheels, again, don't really need to touch too much on the condition, but just look at how it is designed and how it integrates into the whole concept of the car. Coming around to the tailgate, this is a very iconic look on the tailgate. You've got that split rear windshield, which does provide that extra visibility when you are sitting in the car, reversing, backing up, or even just driving, just so you can see your surroundings much more clearly. The brake light is cut across the actual middle there. Brake light is fitted in the middle, and again, in that black finish with that red tailgate, it just looks really nice. Reverse lamp and indicator lamp are mounted in there as well. Chrome finishes on the badging, and if I'm opening up the tailgate here, you can see how much space you get in this car. Just under this cardboard is your space saver spare wheel, which is tucked away quite nice and neatly. All your jacking tools are underneath there, fitted into the appropriate positions, and these models do also come with a cargo blind, so if you do store your groceries or laptop bag or work bag or school bags, whatever it might be, in the back of the car, it's going to be nice and safe and protected and kept private as well. Now, the car does come with rear baby seat mounting points on all 3 seats, which is good to know if you are starting a little young family. Reverse camera is mounted under here, as well as the color match rear parking sensors along the bottom, and there are also your reverse lamp and reflectors along there. As we come across the passenger side, fuel filler cap is mounted just on the passenger side of the car, which is the safe side. It is designed for there for a reason. It is to be not in the way of any oncoming traffic, considering we do drive on this side of the road. You're going to be safe on this side of the car if you do have to pull over for an emergency. Paint condition, as I mentioned before, it is pretty much A1. No need to touch on it too much, but in this black, it just looks phenomenal. So make sure you come and look at it in person, because it is such a great color. So as you can see, we've got 4 unmarked rims in that beautiful black finish. Pretty much brand new tires all the way around. The paint condition is A1 from the get-go. There's no marks of damage whatsoever, and it is quite a nice design in this black edition. What we're going to actually do now is pop the hood and take a look inside. Taking a look inside the engine bay of the Eclipse Cross, what we have here is a 4-cylinder 1.5 litre turbo petrol motor. Now, it is fitted with an 8-speed automatic gearbox, so plenty of gears to shift through to make sure the ride is really nice and smooth, but also to provide that torque and power when you do need it for any takeoffs that you might be doing. Now, if you can see that the car comes fitted with a strut brace on the front of the engine bay, back of the engine bay, front of the car, to provide that extra stability and control when you are turning and maneuvering into those corners. Now, this car itself has a 5-star ANCAP rating with 7 airbags, so lots and lots of safety for all the passengers in the car. This motor itself is a 110 kilowatt motor with 250 Newton meters of torque, so again, enough torque and power for all the payload needs that this car will be doing. It does run on petrol with a 63 litre fuel tank, and it does run on your regular 91 fuel. You don't have to use any premium fuel, and it does have a combined fuel consumption of 7.3 litres per 100 kilometers with an average fuel distance of about 863 kilometers off a full tank, depending on how you drive and whether you are carrying a lot of people around. Taking a look inside the black edition now, as you can see, the car just presents really well. It is much like its counterparts, the Exceed model and the LS model. It doesn't actually lose anything on terms of the actual aesthetic on the inside. So very nice design, and still uses all the right materials, nothing too cheap, but it's just a very well laid out car. Now, on the door card itself, again, as I mentioned, lots of different materials. You've got a leather stitch armrest here with the cloth finish on the door trim, piano black plate up here, nice chrome and carbon fiber plate just at the bottom here, just to give it a bit of detail and character to the car. Now, there is a little button on the top here of this handle which will let you tuck in your side mirrors if you are just sitting in the car on the side of the road, but you do have your side mirror toggles and controls just above that. On the armrest itself, you've got full power windows for all windows there, and they are fully automatic up and down as well, but that is a window lock control and your central locking for the doors just next to that. Now, on the right side of the dash, some of the safety features, being the black edition, it does come with your forward collision mitigation, which is definitely a very common safety feature that you see in a lot of cars now. It does have a lot of benefits. We will run through that when you do come in there if you do need a bit of information on that. Next, that is your stability control, and underneath is parking sensor sonar, which you can turn on and off, and a little adjuster for the height of your headlights. Next to the cluster itself, there's a little button that does let you flick through the little display in your head unit. Now, that'll show you your trip A, trip B, fuel economy, average fuel distance, and average speed limit as well. On the right hand stock are your left and right indicators, as well as your fog lamp controls, automatic headlights, which are dusk sensing, so you can leave it in auto. Car's going to decide when it needs to use it, as well as the automatic high beam feature in this car. On the left hand side are your wipers and washers for your front and rear, and again they are rain sensing automatic wipers, so just leave it in auto and the car's going to do everything for you. Next to that are your paddle shifters for your sports shift system, which we will touch on in a little bit. Nice comfortable leather stitch steering wheel, which is quite comfortable to hold, and it is again designed in a quite intentional way to give you the right grip at the right angle. Now on the right hand side are your cruise control settings with your cruise control on and off, and your speed limiter button just next to that. On the left hand side are all your media controls for your head unit, so mode to flick to the different options, call and reject, and voice control for your CarPlay. Being a keyless entry car, your stop start button is just on the left hand side, and if you come over to the center console here, very nice display in the touchscreen head unit. It is positioned quite nicely. I like to think it is actually positioned quite nicely up there rather than down here. Got plenty of options in here. Now it is touchscreen, as I said before. You get digital radio, AM, FM radio, Bluetooth connectivity, and USB and iPod connectivity as well. Now, as I mentioned, it comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so we will again set that up for you when you do need to come in and show you a little bit of what that can offer you. But that integrates your maps, your Spotify, as well as your music if you did want to use that through that system. 2 air vents below that with all your indicators for your seat belts, and your hazard symbol is nice and easy to access right in the middle there. Below that is your temperature settings for your climate control and your fan speed on the right hand side, and all the modes and options to flick through your preferences. 2 empty plastic 2 empty clips here, which you can add any additional stuff, maybe a light bar if you did want to. Eco mode button is going to save you a little bit of fuel on those long drives. You've got 2 USB inputs for your CarPlay system and for charging, as well as a 12-volt socket for any additional charging that you might need in the car. Below that is a rubber lining with a bit of storage, so things aren't going to slide around too much. And now over to the gear shifter. It is very nicely designed, quite a comfortable grip, and if I bring it into reverse, you can see the reverse camera there with the rear bar mounted just at the bottom there, very clear lines for you to see. If I bring it into drive and flick it to the left, that's going to allow you to flick through the gears manually yourself, so up to go up gears and down to go down gears. And that also integrates these paddles that are on your steering column. Now they are mounted to the column to just stop you from getting confused when you do turn your wheel, so positive on the right and negative on the left. Otherwise you can just leave it in drive, the car's going to do everything for you. Behind that is a trackpad for your head unit, again very nicely positioned, great access, easy to use, especially when you're driving. It is less distracting to actually look at that than it is to be doing this while you are driving, so you can pretty much control everything from here. Will take a little bit of practice probably, but very easy to use. It's got a manual handbrake, 2 cup holders, and a nice leather stitch center console armrest. If I lift this up, it's got storage at the bottom there for actually lots of stuff. You can fit a lot of things in there, and a little tray that does float around if you do want to keep some coins or loose change in there for those brekkie menu runs. Now I'll get the camera person to actually pan around the interior to show you some of the details and features. Now, as I said, it is pretty much a brand new car, so I don't need to touch on the condition, but the seat design is very good. It is a 60-40 split, and they are fully adjustable on both sides, and the roof lining is very clean and neat. And being a blacked out black edition, it's actually quite nice to look at and quite an appealing car as well. What we're going to do now is actually jump outside and wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching the walk around video on this 2019 MY20 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross Black Edition. Now, as you can see, the car presents really well, especially with all the black details in the car and the way it has been designed. It is a very striking, stunning car to actually look at. Now, if you did have any additional questions, wanted to test drive it or purchase it before you came in, you can do that. The number to dial is 99070555. Just before I go though, this car does qualify for our Platinum 1 program. Now what that will give you is 5 years extended protection on like-for-like new car warranty on this car. It does also come with, up to 200,000 kilometers. It does also come with the added benefit of 10 years Platinum roadside assistance. So again, if you do plan on keeping this car for a long time, there's a lot of value in this service. In addition to that, I do highly recommend you take advantage of the glass coat and tint option, which is going to give you a lifetime warranty on the paintwork, and it is going to protect and preserve it the way it is. It's going to protect it from bird droppings, bat droppings, oxidization, and all the other environmental factors that Australia has to offer for us. Now do take advantage of these. Now however, they are at an additional cost, but if you are using our in-house finance, I would love to introduce you to our business managers, Julie and Mario, who show just how minimal these will really affect your repayments. Now lastly, but most importantly, please check out our Google reviews. With over 1,100 reviews and sitting at 4.8 stars, gives you the assurance that you're dealing with the right people and the right kind of business for a good quality vehicle. Now, as I mentioned before, if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 9907 0555. My name is Nathan, and thank you so much for watching.